Hello, everyone, and welcome to class today. Hi, Cynthia.
Hey Rachel, how are you today?
I'm good. Welcome. Thank you so much for doing class. We have, for folks who don't know, this is Cynthia of Green Girl Studios. She makes incredible metalwork pieces that we all get to enjoy and use in our jewelry making. And she's going to join us today to do some designing. I sent you over the July Sam's bead box. What kind of feel did you get from it?
Well, when I opened it, the first thing I saw was the delightful sunstone that smacked me
Mm-hmm.
upside the head with how much I loved it when I saw it. And then I noticed it's funny because I found these, I don't know what they're called, these check beads with the gold on them.
Yeah.
I actually bought some of these not too long ago, like a month ago, from my local bead store because I was like, these would make killer little earrings. It was just so perfect, so perfect.
Wow.
I was like, we must be on the same wavelength as far as
Exactly.
palette and color and what we're
Mm-hmm.
drawn to. So that was pretty
Yeah,
exciting to see that there
we
are
we
things that
want
I
this.
wanted.
Yeah, yeah. This box is our Voyage to Athens box. It has this beachy feel. How far are you to any beaches?
Well, our closest beach is, I believe, Charleston, and that's about
Okay.
4 hours and some, I think.
Okay, so it's a
It's
little
not
bit of a
too far.
journey.
It's
Yeah,
a,
not too far, but
a it's not close, but
yeah.
you know, it's close
Okay.
enough if
Yeah,
we needed to. So it's not like a full day's drive.
yeah. So today we get to pretend that we're right there, that we're at the beach. So
These colors are giving me that vibe,
yeah.
of being out somewhere coastal. I mean, I'm from Florida,
Hmm.
so that's
Ah.
like in my blood, right?
Well, I want to start looking at beads. So would
Let's
you
do it. Let's flip the
flip
camera.
if you flip the camera around? Well, Cynthia's going to do that, and she will show off all the amazingness. Yeah, we have the July Sam's bead box. I'm wearing jewelry from it. Um, we've already made a lot with this box, and we're going to now see what Cynthia will do with it. And she also we picked out together some of her Beachy Green Girl Studio elements as well. So we'll see how this all flows together.
Yeah, we
Let's
will
see.
see.
Let me know if you're ready for me.
I am ready. What do you think?
Perfect. Oh, that looks great.
You can see
All right,
everything in there.
yeah. So across the top there, she's laid out all of the beads from the box. I love that you have it on a Mancala board. It's so perfect. It
It is
works.
so perfect. It's so perfect. I thought about painting it, but it has these like bullseye type situations. So you get,
Mm.
oh, it's a lot of interesting texture, almost a neutral. But I thought the blue looked really beautiful on this sort of board because, if you're looking at a color wheel and you see where blue sits right across the pond from it is orange. And that's why you see that blue kind of glows against this sort of orangey
True.
kind of color, which is sort of, this palette anyway. So I thought it was a good mix. I
We
love
can.
these that big
Oh, it's
Amazon.
kind
Look
of
at that.
yeah, right. It's kind of like you found a piece of driftwood, and now we can you carved into it.
That would
That's
be
the
nice.
story we can tell.
hmm Well, I have done that. We dragged some out of we went to Truth or Consequences to Elephant Butte, and it's a really spooky place. And there was this really beautiful big piece of driftwood, and I dragged it out. It's part of my table display, so it works.
Oh, that's
This is kind of
awesome.
driftwood colored. That reminds me of
Yeah.
these little leaves. It has that kind of. It's a good. It is a kind of a driftwood feel. That grayish, taupish sort of gold goes well.
Hmm.
It's almost exactly the tones in this Amazonite. You've got that kind of gold here, and it's a good blend. What is this
Thank
one
you.
again? What is this
That's
beautiful
a
gem?
that's a glass piece, but it's called aqua quartz. It's made with glass, but it's very very cool, large focal piece.
That's really pretty. It's like sea
So yeah,
glass. There's your sea
yeah,
glass element.
exactly. And the sunstone, right? That's what caught your eye first.
Oh yes, it's really juicy. Really has a lot of fire or flash. In Sunstone, they call it
Hmm.
flash,
Hmm.
right? Isn't that what they call that rainbow
To
in
me, it's just
Sunstone?
like glitter. It just
That's like
earth
rainbow glitter.
glitter. It's
Love
amazing.
it. It looks
Well,
good with these blues. Like
yeah.
this.
would you show us the two pieces, the two Green Girl Studio pieces that we're going to be pairing with the box today?
Sure. This little seahorse looks very friendly.
Not so little.
Not super little, but
Nice. Yeah.
like like a maybe actual size.
Yeah.
If they were kind of
Oh, there are little
fantasy.
ones.
There are little ones.
That
There
is
are small.
true.
I had a jar of them that were like this. They were in a jar like this, and I decided this is when I was a child. Mine. This was not recent. I put them in the tub with me and got a good case of pink eye. So I do not encourage anyone to copy me
You
and
do you
reconstitute
remember?
them.
Do you
Oh, I
remember
remember. It was
when? Well, no, no.
memorable.
When you designed this piece.
Could be like it's the remember to not be like Cynthia. And
But I was curious when you made that design, what else inspired you?
oh, well, I love anything to do with the sea. I love the sea. I am
Mm,
deathly afraid of the water, but I love all those creatures. Love mermaids, love whales, love all of it. But when I get like in actuality, I don't want to actually be in. I just want to be next to it. I don't want to be in it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I mean
and then
sometimes.
we have the starfish that we have in the shop is the toggle version, but I think is that what you have there? Or is that a different version?
I have a toggle version too.
Oh, okay.
I have that too. I have it sitting here. You know what Azalea said? She goes, "Here it is." And I was like, "Oh, that's not the one they wanted. The one they wanted was a different one, but I have it here
Okay,
wherever
good.
it went.
Perfect.
It's
Yeah, because
somewhere over. Here it is."
I know, I think I love this. I love when you take toggles, but you make them into like real world things. It's so magical.
Thank you. I'm digging around underneath the thing to show the rest of it. So it has a little spiral piece. That's the arm. Now, there are a couple ways that if you did have this star, you could easily make a loop with these seed beads that came included. I see that you have a hint of the sunstone flash in all of this sea of blue. It's kind of like the sand a little bit.
Exactly, yeah. And
A
that one
little
actually, that's one of our bonuses that folks can buy separately, those seed beads. We designed them to match the box.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Of
Okay,
course.
well,
There's a
I like that other starfish, so I'm sure I'll have to would you hold it up? I'm curious folks to see the other starfish, and maybe that's something we'll have to get in the shop later.
Oh, the little star?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it's the thing that you sent me.
No, no, we've only got the toggle. I haven't seen this one.
This is a button. It has a little eye on it.
Oh.
It's one that I use on my finished necklaces all the time. I use it with a seed bead loop. This isn't seed beads, but I'm going to give you you can imagine it. So pretend those
Yeah.
are seed beads. And then it's like this. If
Nice.
you know what I mean, that's how that would work.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've demoed that for us in some past
And it's an
projects.
easy one. It's an easy way if you have a button. And you could also do that right here with this.
True.
That's it's almost like it's making itself.
Okay, so I left this very open-ended for you. I sent you the box. We picked out a couple of your pieces, and I said whatever you would like to make. So where are you going to start?
When I was looking at this blend, immediately I thought this would make a really pretty necklace. And so, especially with this being a larger focal, I didn't think, hey, that's more of a necklace or a bracelet. It's more of a necklace piece, I feel like. So I'm going to go ahead. I might just attach that with a jump ring, but for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to string up an assortment of these beads and just go in groupings, which is one of my favorite ways to design. I design in piles. As you can see, I have my piles ready to go. Almost like paint dabs. If you can imagine, it's like squeezing out your paint. And
Yeah,
I'm going to get this.
your painter's palette.
My palette. And here's I'm going to put my optivisors on, always. Let's see what I'm doing. These are my favorites of the bunch. And so what I'm going to do is think, where am I going to put the clasp on this first and foremost? I think what I'll do, I love a side clasp. That's one of my all-time favorite ways to do it, side on the side. So if I know that I'm going to do the clasp to one side, I'm going to make small piles of beads. It's going to be loose because it doesn't need to be something that is so meticulous in my designing. You could, of course, go in a way that is very symmetrical. You put things in where you're working like this, going in a rhythm, if you will, if that appeals to you. And right now it's kind of appealing to me. I thought that I was going to
Oh,
do something that was more asymmetrical, but as I look at this, I'm thinking I love it. So I'm going to go with it.
you got to
And
go
that,
with what feels right.
these, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So
those are
pretty.
the carved bicones. It's a teal glass with a gold wash on them.
They're so pretty. And those go so perfectly in these. So what I might do is do something that has a fade, maybe starting with this dark and then fading out to a lighter color, or going in with pops of this sunstone. Although these, I feel like they would make such good earrings. I'm going to set them there as inspiration to go with it. I think it's going to go a little tighter in. Okay. I like that Amazonite too. I love how Amazonite has a lot of shift of color
Yeah,
in
I know
one
some people like
strand.
to sort them out,
Uh-huh.
but it kind of depends. Do you want to use all the blues and all the browns in different pieces, or do you want to include all that natural variation? Yeah, it brought all the colors of the box together in one strand. So that was a
Perfect.
no-brainer.
Yeah. Those make good earrings too. Really easy
Right?
right there. They kind of just, that's so, there you go.
Yeah.
Easy.
Add a little sunstone at the bottom. Yeah.
So perfect. I'm going to lay those. I feel like I'm going to bring, I thought maybe I'd do an ombre effect, but seeing this, I'm going to do the small piles, and that way it'll give me a kind of a starting point of where I want to go. So on this, I have these little clamps. This is not a matching one. These are really good if you want to close off your loop. And I have some soft Lux here. This is the colorful kind in a turquoise, and it's a medium. So I'm guessing that I'm going to make a necklace. Let's see, I'm going to put this around my neck of where I want this to lay. Okay, I think you want to add a little bit if you're measuring around your neck of where you want it to sit. Add extra. You can always trim, but you can't put on unless you add an extender. And sometimes that can be kind of a nuisance.
Yeah.
So I'm going
You'll
to
need
trim
some
off.
extra. You
Yeah,
also
just
just need
give
some
extra.
extra for the crimps too.
You need to factor in all that, especially if you have beads that are a little bit wide, like that sits up above, like it takes up space. And so you want to make sure that you don't make it too short because of the amount that the beads take up, the space that they take up. So basically, in this way, I'm going to be working from the center out, knowing that I'm going to put this little seahorse. I'm going to clip one side so I don't have to worry about it. Keep that there. And I'm going to put these, I'm just going to start and get
See
those
what
going.
happens.
See what happens, exactly. We'll see.
Yeah, I like when we can mix in some of these design on the fly challenges because it really helps people see your design process. You've already changed your approach like a few times, which I think is great because it's kind of like that's kind of what goes through everyone's mind when they're working and they can see that like all designers do this. You don't have all the answers when you start. Like you're not going to.
No, I think that's, it's kind of when you have a rigid mindset on I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do this type of mentality, it really makes it difficult to work within those parameters.
Hmm.
I feel. I mean, everybody's different in their way. I didn't notice those. Look at that flash.
Yeah, that
Look at that
moonstone.
cheddar. Let's
Exactly.
see.
It has that similar flash to it.
And then sometimes you want to test it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And that's like this one. We'll see how it looks. Do I love it? It's pretty. Or do I love that more? It's hard to say. Maybe this blue would work better, but that's part of it, is going back and forth with what you're making and seeing if it works.
Yeah, we tried to
Sometimes,
include a few different shades of blue. I mean, when you think about the Mediterranean Sea next to Greece and the other seas around there, like, sometimes it's going to look more aqua, sometimes more teal, sometimes almost more turquoise. So I think it's kind of nice to bring together the blend of those blues.
I agree. It's good thinking. Because sometimes if it's too matchy-matchy, it can be a little boring to work with.
Yeah. I'm sure sometimes that might be the vibe you're going for, but I think in this piece, because there's so much texture and variety, like you kind of want to have that variation throughout your piece.
I agree. It's good. It's real good.
And I like how you're just kind of keeping that seahorse in the center of your workspace. So just even though it's not attached yet, you're
No,
keeping that in
I
mind.
know where I'm gonna put it. See, I have it planned out in my mind that's gonna be in the center. So with this, I don't usually do perfect symmetry, and occasionally I'll want it, but that's,
I know
sometimes
it feels
this
so
is,
unusual.
well, these pieces here, I will say, these have a very architectural feeling. And when you were talking about Athens and Greece, it got me thinking of the, what is it, the core and the chorus of the statuary, on the temples with the lady,
Okay.
the lady, what do they call them? The core? You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know for sure, but
It's the what do you call it? I used to know these words.
but there's just the symmetry of them is kind of what it was
The
reminding you
symmetry
of.
kind of makes me think of a temple, temple
Yeah,
walls. And those little, this especially is kind of like the fluting on a column.
exact. That's what we were going for. You got it.
Well, that's what it made me think of. So you nailed it. I'm going to trying to get this where I'm working fast. It's funny because when I do my own live streams, I want to say that they're more rambling than this, just because there is no one to actually. When I say that, Azalea is keeping me on the straight and narrow and not going on for forever.
Your daughter, for folks who don't know.
Oh yes, my daughter Azalea. She is in the biz, in the bead biz.
Yeah, the family business.
It for sure is. See, you can see already it's starting to take shape and form. And if I don't like any part of this, I'm not, I can just easily remove what I don't like and begin again. So I'm looking at these guys and I feel like I want them in a tassel.
Ooh, yeah.
I want to drop tassel from that. So we'll see if I can make more earrings. That would make a good earring, actually. That with like this, those two together. I think they look pretty.
It's like a water droplet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect. There's a lot of potential. It's almost hard to decide like what to use next. Do I follow a pattern here? I have two more. Oh no, I have. Let me see. There's several. Kind of want to ration them. Do I want to follow a complete pattern? Maybe not. It's easy to do that if you want to
Yeah.
follow a pattern. But you know what? The secret to that is to change up your pattern, because the eye is an expert at pattern recognition. It's what we as humans are most skilled with, is recognizing patterns. And sometimes you can throw that pattern off by, like, the next logical step would to put these, if we were to continue
Yeah.
the pattern, you'd put those up there, right? Now I could continue it, but what I'm going to do is throw everything off and add something orange.
That feels right to me.
And the reason is because it's almost like you're bringing this up here. You're doing a visual reminder. If that's the right size, maybe I'll see if that's the right size. Let's see. I call that the callback. That's what that is, when you're popping those other colors right back in there. It just seems to work. Color is such a funny thing. Like, you know, you've seen that old meme with the dress. You know, the dress. Is it
Oh
black
yeah.
or blue? Is it white and white and gold? And everything. The people that don't understand color theory are not aware of the fact that colors will look different on different backgrounds. So whatever is next to it is going to affect how that color looks and the brightness of that color. So I like to think of that as, let's see.
Oh, so the same bead might look different and have like,
depending on
like
what you
different
put next
color.
to it.
Yeah.
So it's going to look a little bit brighter because I popped these true blues next. So it's going to look more orange than, say, if I put it next to this, it's going to give it more of a yellowish tone, I would feel like. We could test that with looking at it right now and say, hey, you can look right there and say, hey, do I feel that? But you can see how it kind of grays it down a tiny bit as opposed to that. It's just different.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pop these back. I want to use more of that Amazonite. I've been keeping my eye. I love those next to my neck.
Yeah, the soft, smooth rounds.
I try to think.
The cold gemstone.
Exactly. You are hearing my mind. I love doing that because if you're wearing it, the last thing you want to do is put something pokey that's kind of sharp. Or something that's tight like this. I don't put things that are tight, strung together next to my hair or on my neck.
Yeah, true.
It acts just like an epilator or what's that word I'm looking for? Something.
I mean, yeah, my hair would get caught in
epilation,
that
and then it pulls that hair right out. And one thing I don't want to do either is make it too heavy, because I'm kind of sensitive when I'm wearing necklaces. I don't want it to be too heavy. That's not my favorite. Let's see. Maybe that would be a good match. I like that blue with the Amazonite. It's very.
Ooh, I'm glad we're bringing in some of the Amazonite.
And it kind of works with that shape at the top. I'm gonna try and work more of that because it has a really nice look. And I might, I know what I'll do. These will be a good kind of like binder to the soup of this necklace.
Yeah.
Because it'll bring some of this gold. It's going to bring some of that gold that is popping up in different places. You have it here and here. It'll be perfect. And they have kind of a crystalline shape. Very beautiful.
Yeah.
They look like they're gold foiled.
Right? Yeah, for such a tiny bead, they have so much going on.
They have a lot of bang for their buck. I love them.
Yeah.
And what are these? What is this shape on your? What is that called on your site? What do you call that?
For sure, these are called English cuts. This kind of.
That's right. I've heard. I have some of these, but they're not like this. This is the ones that I have are not. They're not sparkly like that. They're kind of basic looking. I don't know.
Yeah, they can be made in solid colors too, but we put both a gold coating and an AB coating, and you see the AB through the clear glass, so it just kind of reflects and just it's very vibrant.
So here I have added, so I put 4 in between. That kind of goes back to this area right down here. And it's also, you know what this is doing? It's lightening my load.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a heavy, heavy duty necklace. Because it can get heavy real quick. You start adding all the gemstones, and then pretty soon you're like, hey, I love this necklace, but it cuts off my chi. So not going to get a lot of use. Okay, I want to see, where's that hole? Oh, there it is. It's on the golden side. I'm a big fan of those. I want to get another hank of those. I love them.
Right?
These actually, these would work really well on, I make crochet necklaces, and those puppies would be perfection.
Yeah, I mean, since they're glass, they're actually pretty affordable.
Oh, that's even better. I love it when that happens. How do you feel about that so far?
No, I'm liking that because we have a lot of larger beads, so it feels kind of refreshing to bring in the smaller ones.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, it's also, this is getting up towards your neck. Like this will be like, I want to say top of your collarbone, right about there, maybe, if I aimed that correctly.
So yeah, it kind of makes the center part as almost like everything below those little English cuts is kind of the central focal section.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see a pattern maybe starting. We'll see if you we'll see if you stick to the pattern.
We'll see. We'll see. It's
Too early to
days.
say.
It's early days.
I know. But you're so right, though. I instantly am like, you barely put out a few beads, and I'm like, oh, there's a pattern. I see it.
There's the pattern. And the thing is, though, is sometimes your eyeball is like, okay, I got this. I got it figured out. And you don't want to look further. But if you change it up, say if I did something that was reminiscent, say a different color of this, you know, because I have that dark blue, light blue, maybe go in either a different shade. It seems like I need to pull in something along this palette next. A little bit of this color.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like anyway.
Bring in some of that peachy orange tone.
Mm-hmm. One of my little cheats to this is if I have these beads already strung, I'll do this. I'll grab 4 of them, just like that. And make sure that it's on the right way, and then pop them all through. That's when I'm on like optimal speed of stringing. Okay, so that's what I have. Let's see how I like it. Let's see. How do you feel so far?
I'm feeling good.
I think it feels pretty good.
You do have, and I like that you're thinking about like where it's going to lay. It actually is kind of helpful. Like you can even add the clips to either side just for folks watching and like just kind of hold it up because it's,
yeah, I've made so many necklaces
here, but it's not really what's going to happen.
No, it won't lay quite like that. It'll be more like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'll be looser. It won't be quite so like this. It'll only be like this if you have it super long. And I don't know that I cut enough line for that. Yeah, the brain wants things to have a certain order. So we'll see if I go in. It could be with this bigger bead. Let's see how that looks. You know, let me see if there's another one that I haven't used on that side.
But I guess, do you ever tend to hold it up to yourself while you're making?
Oh yeah, I actually have a bust that I'll put it up against, or I'll have Azalea try it on. But I kind of like how I've brought this to a little larger, but look how it looks. It's like, it's not a complete pattern. Could be good. Let's try another one and see. Let's see if I used one of these. It's a little smaller, or I haven't used any of these. This could be the shape that balances this kind of squarish shape, and we'll see what looks better.
Or you start bringing in some asymmetry. I don't know.
What do you like better?
What do you think?
I don't know. It's a hard. You know what? I kind of like this one because it's picking up this shape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And The gold sparkle is definitely nice.
That gold does sparkle. There'll be more of that. And save some of those for laters, for earrings. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. And there's even if you need a smaller square, there should be that strand of a gemstone strand. Let me look up on the list what it was. Yeah, the Aqua Terra Jasper squares might be one of the strands you have.
Oh, that kind of fell off my board. Here they are. There's some more stuff. Let me wiggle this over so y'all can see what else.
Another square is needed.
I didn't even notice these over here. Oh, yeah. So we can bring this in. This will be a good one. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Little chiclets.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll definitely be bringing those in for the next amount, or next line of pattern. So there is symmetry, there is pattern, but it's not so obvious of like a dot and dash type.
Yeah.
Which is fine, you know, whatever you're comfortable. You know, that's the thing, is the first necklaces most people make will be absolutely, you know, just like a very basic type of stringing, and that's natural and normal. I feel like you get more skills as you know, you learn. And you can see the people will say, "Oh, there are rules." They're not really rules exactly. So far, this is looking very opulent. All that gold.
Oh yeah,
very opulent. Don't you think?
You're like, yeah, you're like at this. You're like on the beach. You know, you don't have shoes on. You're in the sand, but you're also wearing like a ball gown.
That little flash. It's so juicy. I love it. And these are so perfect. That that detail. Do you know what that detail is called? Does that have a name?
We call it a carved ruin. It does remind me a little bit of some of like the Celtic symbols that you can see in pieces, like, or even just like the Greek key is another symbol. It's like this square.
I was about to say, all these were very well chosen for the Greek.
Exactly.
Flavor.
Yeah.
I mean, this passage right here, that would make a good bracelet right there.
Oh, I like that.
All the way around. Could you picture it? I can. You could even make an easy stretch bracelet with that. Oh, true. And here, what is this? It fell right off. Whatever this is.
Oh yeah, yeah. They were spacer beads on that strand.
Those are good. Let's see. Maybe I'll pull in some of those guys. Why not?
Got a few.
I could put those towards the back. So let me say I have 3 sections of that. Maybe I can do it where I do a little bit less. Maybe like this. One of these is like almost like brackets. Sometimes when I'm working, if I'm going to bring in a color that or a shape, I'll do it where it's bracketed, so it's not too abrupt. So I have 3 here, 3 sections, right? And when I say bracket, that means these 2 are kind of like almost like bead ends. And that'll give me some continuity of design, so it's not like, hey, what's going on there? That doesn't fit the pattern. You can probably hear that. It's torrential downpour.
Wait, really?
It's really storming.
Wow, summer storm.
Okay, so check it out.
Ooh.
It's a little subtle, so it's a transition between this larger bead and these smaller ones. Meaning I'm getting ready to transition to some smaller, because I'm getting close to the neck.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be too heavy, so I'm lightening the weight on there. So I'm getting, so these were on the space, this was on there to separate.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's right.
Man, it's like it worked out perfectly. I was like, I only need a few of these. So
that's
it worked out
great. Another question I had for you, have you been doing in-person shows this summer?
I have. You know, I just got back from, and this was a show that was in town. I did the Big Crafty. That was over last weekend. It was very successful. It's a busy summer show here in Asheville.
Oh,
And we had a
wonderful.
great time. It's so fun to shop. If you're ever in the Asheville area during the summer, or we have one in the winter, and it's a lot of the Etsy superstars. You know, some of those superstars. Yeah, I'm saying that because it's a lot of the folks that they have several hundreds of thousands of followers.
Hmm.
Those guys are rocking, and you can get stuff live action without having to wait. Because you know, there's one gal I follow, Rose Grown. Her her mugs are continually on. When she releases them, they're sold out
Yeah.
they just like 2 minutes later they're gone.
Yeah.
So having her set up and then me moseying over before the doors open, it is good times. Real
You've
good
got,
times.
yeah, you have the special access of the
The
fellow
vendor,
booth.
the
Yeah.
vendor, what
Special.
is it? Advantage. The vendor
Yeah.
advantage. Okay, so I put two of these together. I don't know if I love that. You know, I don't. So I'm going to change it. And that's the beauty of when you're working kind of loosey goosey. You can be like, do I love that? Nah, it's too much. Too similar, I guess. Or not enough. Not enough. It needs something orangey gold.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, that
Oh, I see
sunstone
what you mean.
maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, because we
Or
haven't used that
these.
in a while.
Yeah, I need to bring back some of this because in person, I don't know if it shows up on camera. This reads very peachy and has some of that golden warmth of some of this. And so far, I've kept a lot of that down here, and I'd like to bring it throughout. So I could either use those, that would be a good shape, or I could use some of these delightful little sunstone nugs and see what looks the best.
Hmm.
I don't know, I think that might be, look how pretty that looks.
Oh,
One
fabulous.
side, I love it. Real pretty.
If that was the first bead you noticed, it has to be on this necklace.
It has to be. It has to be. It's like so, although I need to change that to a different shape. This one is a better shape. That's a long shape. I wanted the longer one. That one's a little squat for that spot. There we go.
And the folks that were shopping with you at the craft fair, is it a lot of like makers, like people who make jewelry, or is people who do you get people who've like never made jewelry before and are like, I want
Oh,
to
yeah.
do
Well, the
something with
majority,
this?
like, so at my booth, I have paper dolls because I paint and draw.
Hmm.
And, okay, I'm going to hold this up a second and
Yeah.
test. So I paint and draw, and I have a lot of different styles of things at my booth.
Hmm.
Okay, so now this fits as a choker right here. So that's kind of a choker.
Okay.
Now, if I want this, a very popular length this would be a great length. It's right under my collarbone is where that hits. I could add more to this and it would be a fantastic longer necklace, but right now I think I'm going to add more. I'm going to add some of those blue. I love these blue. What do they call these? Drucks? Is this the druck?
Those are the fire polish beads.
Oh, fire polish.
Yeah, because they're fast. First, they're fat. Well, they make it starts as just a regular round bead. They facet them, adding all those angles, and then they polish them with fire. And that's what just softens the fastening a little bit so they're not like scratching you. And it adds all that sparkle.
Oh, nice. Maybe I'll bust out some of these seed beads.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, those would be a good
Oh, let me
size.
think.
Yeah.
Seed beads, possibly. Let's see how
You
that would
still
look.
you still have more gold beads.
I know, I do. Oh, yeah, I do have some more of those. That might be a better option. Let's use some of those. I'll line those up. They're really quite lovely. Need to get more of them. Oh, one of the best things. I was talking about one of my crochet. I did a live the other day and I released a crochet workshop. So if you've been one of the folks that have been asking me, I've had folks asking for a long time about this workshop. I teach it at stores and things and at retreats. And obviously, you can't do that everywhere, especially with travel restrictions of the last few years. So I've finally gotten around to making this workshop. It's only taken me 10 years or so. It's a long project. But anyway, I
That's
released that, and
cool.
that was a big deal for me because, sometimes, I make different, I've made videos for, uh, was it Interweave and Craftsy,
Yeah. So
and it's
where
nice to be
can
able to do
where
it on my own.
yeah, where can folks find that one?
Oh, that's on my website. It'll be under my workshop or classes or downloadable content. I'm working on a video to go with it. It's like not necessary, but some folks learn better by watching a video, so I'll include it and just send it on when it's
Cool.
finished.
Oh, and
But as it
what
is,
else do you have at your booth? You mentioned paper dolls
I
and
have rings. I sell a lot of rings. It's funny, I'm not wearing any rings right now. But oh yeah, I forgot about these in my palette. And I have some hand dyed things, Azalea's dolls. She makes cloth dolls.
Mm.
And what else do I have at my table?
And you have your metal pieces, right?
Oh yeah, duh. I have trays like this and bowls and things of my metalwork. And a lot of people
Hmm.
are not makers at that. A lot of them are, but many of them are like the type that are just, they're not maybe not beaters, but
Uh-huh.
people will find a way. They'll put them on different things like keychains, or I'll make a necklace right there with cord.
Yeah.
Kind of fun. And I sell a surprising amount of loose beads. You'd be surprised. People just want to hold them. I forgot that these guys were in the bag. Let me pour some of those in a little thing and see what that's like. Those are kind of like pearls. That's the
Mhm.
drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, the
I can
smooth
never
ones are
remember
the
that
drugs.
name for drug.
Yeah, I guess it must be a Czech word, but yeah, that's for the smooth round beads from the Czech Republic.
Yeah, that's good. I just put it up against myself and it looked good. So I'm going to put some of those whites. We'll see how those look. It's getting long now, so we'll see if I continue with this length.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't like a long necklace, or if you want to make it adjustable, you could always add a little piece of small chain with big links that you could use to extend it. They call that an extender. And actually, if I wanted to, I could finish that up if I wanted to make it a certain length. Say I want another 3 inches. That's on the very
Hmm.
back of your neck. So you don't want to use like you don't want to use all your good stuff. And in fact, I was kind of when I said that, I kind of considered, hey, maybe I take that off and put it down here. So we'll see if I stick with that before I put the clasp on.
So yeah, for folks, we're gonna learn how to attach the seahorse to the center and how to attach the toggle at the end. So please stay with us so you can learn a few more tips today.
For sure. Yeah, this looks good. What do you think? Do you like that white in there, or do you not like that white?
I don't know. That's interesting. It's definitely a stronger contrast, which in
In
some ways,
this, like when you're looking at
yeah,
it, the problem is the light is bouncing and not showing the subtlety of these
yeah,
because they're kind of pearly. They're showing when I'm looking at the screen, they're
and they're
showing as pure white, but in reality, they're kind of iridescent.
they're a little more
So,
natural of a
mm-hmm.
color.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
maybe I
I
will
can
do
see
something a
that.
little bit different. Maybe I
Sure,
will
either
go
way.
with, let's see what I have here that's the appropriate size. I
Like
might
part
just
of me
go with more of
liked,
those little drugs. I love them. Or
yeah.
these, I haven't used any of these, but are they too big? That's the question. Maybe these.
I don't think the other ones are too
Th-
big. because I feel like it's such a chunky necklace anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't we say we wanted to avoid those with our hair?
These.
Yeah.
This might be the option. And this is how you design, folks. This
Ask
is
a
one way
friend.
you can design. This is one way. This is not the only way, for sure.
In some ways, like I liked with the white drooks, they did bring some of the opaqueness of there's like a few opaque beads earlier on. But yeah, at least on camera, it was definitely pretty stark.
Mm. Yeah, and that's how, that's one of the ways that you can kind of feel out how things are going with your piece is to, uh, kind of just test.
Yeah.
Do some and test it. See how it looks. You're going to be wearing it, so it's good to, test it out. I mean, it's not like, this is the fun. Right here is the amusement is the best part. The design part is the most fun, I think.
Yeah. Or you still have more of those Amazonite rounds. They are larger, but if you want those at the back of the neck.
Mm-hmm. And they're smooth. They're smooth. So that's a nice feel to it. So I'm going to use some of these and then maybe some of that sparkly. We'll see. I like the size of that. They look good with that together. Let's see. It's a little bit, I'm breaking up the pattern a little bit, so.
No, I'm liking that.
I think it looks pretty good. I might go in with
feeling it.
Some of these smooths. How does that look? Oh, I like it.
Yeah. That's nice.
A little bit different. And you know what I like is that it has a great big old hole. And that can be, you know what, if you put the teeny tiny hole right at the end, that's just a recipe for suffering. So trying to get the soft flex back in there is no joke.
True. Once you add the ends, yeah.
You want something, I'm going to look, I was like, what has the biggest hole here that I could tuck into? All right. I think these have a pretty good sized hole.
Yeah.
All right, maybe this. How does that look with one on the end? Those have a nice big hole. I love it when that happens. Mm-hmm. I kind of like it. I'm going to just go with it.
I'm into it.
All right, time for the next area. So I'm going to put the clip there on that side. Where'd that clasp get to? Here it is. Okay, so to put a clasp on, you need a crimp. You could use any kind of crimp. They come in all different shapes, right? Like big, 1/8 inch. These are 1.3 millimeter. So you put your crimp on first.
Yeah, the 2x2 tubes are usually good for the medium soft flex.
Okay. Then you put the toggle part and you run it back through. Doesn't have to be that long. Can be shorter. You're going to trim it anyway. I love this colorful soft flex. It's so pretty. You can add, if you have it and you want to protect your end, you can use that bullion wire so it doesn't rub. But you know what? I've been making necklaces for a long time and I have never one time had this stuff come apart. So maybe with more inexpensive or silk, if you're using fabric, you want to protect it. You could that would have been a time to put on a cover or use bullion wire. Now this is these pliers are, you can see here, these are crimping. See that where that goes? It has like that box right there. So you want to line it up so you're not twisting inside the crimp. So I'm holding them flush so they're laying side by side and not crossed, because that makes for a loose hold. Okay, and then you just smash down. See, so it smashes it. And then you close it up. It's like, and it has, see right here, you can see like the sizes right there. You could see it. Okay, did I do that? It's hard to see it on camera. There. That's okay. I've done better. But I'm looking through a tiny screen. That's my excuse. Okay, trim it. One time, actually when I say one time, I've done this many times accidentally. You get in a hurry and you clip off the live thing you're working on. Oh. Okay, pull it down. Tuck it in. See, when you have a big hole, look what happens. It goes inside.
I did it without even trying.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to fight with it. Make your life easy. Always put a bigger bead with a bead hole on the end. Oh, you know what? I did that wrong. Let me see. Make sure this is a... That'll be a learning moment to why you add extra. See? See all this extra? This will be a learning moment. And I'll show you.
Yeah, is it too big? Will it still fit through the other side?
We're going to test that because sometimes...
Yeah, I had the same thought too.
I just did it and I thought that tucked in there, but is it going to work? It might not work.
Oh, still fit.
It still fit. Good.
Yeah, sometimes you do want smaller beads near the end
to help, because you might have to pull it because of this being a little bit short. If this had a longer bar, you would have to have this come way through. So I am so glad right now that I didn't have to have a learning moment. The learning moment would have been big hole with a small bead.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull that through, and it did work, thankfully.
Nice.
Now, one thing that a lot of people do, myself included, is pulling this so tight that it makes it almost impossible, and it's kind of stiff. Don't do that to yourself. It's just straining your crimps. The crimps will be suffering until they eventually break, because this little crimp will break long before your soft flex does. So don't press it. Don't take it to the max with making your piece so tight that it can't get through.
Okay, and for that, you just put it through the large hole where the toggle also goes through? The toggle
No,
bar?
there's a little hole.
See that hole? You're right. I missed that.
A little bitty hole right there at the base, right? It sits right in there.
Makes sense.
Looks like this. And then, before I trim, because you never know what might happen, try to straighten out my crimp situation. Make sure it's not too tight. And I'm going to feel it. Does it feel like it has some give? You don't want it to be like where you test when you put it and it's like straining, you know? That's too tight. You don't want anything too tight, because that's just how you end up with broken pieces.
And we can wait to put the seahorse on? Like we can do this first? Okay.
Because that's separate. You could even do that. Okay. I want to make a little room, so I'm giving myself a little bit of play. And then you repeat. This side's a little trickier because I put it real close.
But yeah, I think you're using the Xuron crimpers that we have at the shop too, but those are nice because they're not too bulky.
Yeah, if you try to do them with other type that are a little bit more blunt-headed, you know the ones I'm talking about. I got them over here. You can use them, but they're harder to get into tight corners. Like this. This is a tight area. And this is where you'd want to have not an 8mm bead at the end. This is the time that when this had that nice big hole, and I was looking at that and thinking, oh, comfort. But when you're putting that bead, it's better to have this bead. Would have been way better as far as ease of getting that crimp. I'm being very mindful of where I'm trimming so I don't crimp off the necklace itself. Okay, so that's done. Now, that's that connection. So the
So
advice is
cool.
to do this bead, maybe 3 across would have been keeping them all. All right, so going down to this part right here, we have a choice. We can put a jump ring right here and hold it. Big jump ring would be nice. You can use a piece of wire that is wire wrapped. You could do, you know, my
You could add a
favorite thing.
bead, right?
You could add another, you could wire wrap a bead here, which would be real pretty. You could do a seed bead loop that hangs from there with a little piece of soft flex. You can wire wrap it. Let me see what I have here. I have a bunch of colors of wire. I think I want gold for this to bring back, or a little bit of silver. Just depends. I feel like, it might be best with just a simple jump ring. Let me see if I have one handy sitting out. You never know. I've got a lot of stuff on my table.
Yeah. And if folks are interested in these pieces that we're showcasing, either the Green Girl Studio Seahorse Pendant or the Starfish Sea Star Toggle, we have both of those available in the shop right now. So check out the links in the description of this video and head on over to our website or our app and you can scoop some up for yourself. Yeah, we're
Yep.
one of the retailers for Green Girl Studios for Cynthia's pieces. So
Thank you.
yeah, we love getting to support Cynthia and having her pieces in the shop. So check out those. Plus we have a bunch more also that you can choose from too.
It's also worth mentioning, sometimes people don't like to wait. If you're impatient for something and you're like, oh, but I want to buy it from Green Girl, but I want them to be happy and buy it for them. You know, you'll get it faster if you get it from one of our retailers because they've done all the waiting
Yeah.
for you and you don't have to wait for it. You have to wait the normal time. I'm making them to order. So keep that in mind. So that's the advantage of buying it from a retailer like Sam's Beads. All right, let's see. I do not see a jump ring that'll fit, but I do have wire. Let's see where that wire went. I have some maybe we'll just go with some soft
What
wax.
size would you like?
Yeah.
Some wire in here.
Like this size. I have the, oh, yeah, okay.
That's thick.
Is there a gold color?
Nope.
Azalea's coming in with the assist.
Thank you for the assist. I
do
needed
not
it.
have gold color. I have that silver one.
I had a bag of wire set out. Of course, when you need it, it's mysteriously missing. And then you know what? As soon as we're done, it'll be right by my finger.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so this is Designs wire. I don't know where this came from.
It says 20 on it, so it's probably 20 gauge.
It's a very thick. I don't usually use this thick. This is we'll see
We
how
could do
this
the
works.
soft flex way too.
The soft flex way. It's a good
That sounded funny. But yeah, you know, using the beading wire.
Let's see. Do I want to put a bead? That might be pretty to have a bead down there. Let's see. What would be the best looking bead to be right here? Let's test out a couple and see what looks like the best. Maybe there? No. I feel like something orangey would be good, don't you?
Yeah. Can we see the sunstone there?
Let's see a piece of sunstone. Might be, let's see.
I like that, but
Maybe even bigger. No, not bigger. That is
I mean,
good.
either way. I like that it has a very free form and a natural look right there. That too.
There's
yeah.
a lot. You know what? There's a lot of choices.
There are.
There's a lot of choices. Or another one of these. Look at this.
Oh yeah, the Amazonite.
That's nice. So many choices. could even be, I feel like it should be something orangey though, don't you?
I like that.
It's kind of the wrong shape. But actually, it kind of looks good.
Kind of intriguing, yeah.
Yeah.
Different look, a longer dangle.
Yeah, longer dangle or shorter dangle. Could be another one of those, but you know, I like that other piece. So let me see. I wanted to do a loop with that. Let's see if that works. So this piece is kind of very thick. So maybe I will do a soft flex loop. All right, so to do a soft flex loop, you know what? I want to do that other kind of wire. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do this for now, and then I'm going to chop it. Because this, I want this, whatever this is. This is like 18 gauge, but it's kind of the wrong color. But I can always change it when I photograph it. So that, I mean, it's a dark wire. It's easy to be redone when I find the right color, which would be a gold, I think, or bronze. This isn't, I feel like that's kind of, what'd you say, 22? What's it? It's a 22 gauge. Maybe 24, because it's pretty small.
Either seems like it would work for this.
All right, concentration. I'm going to put a loop, bend a loop here. You don't use your fingers, but you're supposed to use tools. Don't be like me and mess up your nails. Don't be like me and mess them up. Be more professional, like Rachel, how she does it. Ah, trim. Made it too long. Sunstone, where'd you get to? I'm gonna dig out one of the big ones in here.
Yeah, that one you got to choose. You got to choose one you really like because it's front and center.
It's right in the front. You want that to be something. Here's a good one, I think. Yeah, get that one. Or this one. Which is the best one? I think that one.
Ooh.
No, the one I had was pretty good. Look at all that. Look at all that cheddar right there. We'll use that one. Like, where's the? You know, sometimes when you're far away from it, it's kind of hard to see the hole. All right. Not bad.
Nice. Oh, I guess it might hang sideways. I guess it depends how. Maybe if you make the loop tight at the top.
Yeah, it's not going to be sideways.
Okay.
Because there'll be a little play. It's not going to be tight.
Yeah.
There'll be a little bit of, and if it is, you know what? The beauty of all this is that you can easily cut that thing off and just start again.
Well, yeah, this is separate, so yeah, easy to redo.
That's the fun thing about necklace building is that if one part looks like trash, you can easily fix it. You know, there's no hard and set rules that be like, nope, that was the first thing. You got to live with it now that you did it. See, because some of these, I mean, I could see if you were using like super expensive golden wire, you don't want to cut that. Yeah, but this stuff is not super cheap, but it's also not going to. It's like, did I have a hold of it? There it is. I wasn't holding one side. That's why there's problems. Okay, so now I've got the pliers. I'm using my crimping ones because they were right at my fingertips. And this wire is very loosey-goosey. It's like dead soft, so it's real loosey-goosey. I usually use something that has a little more stiffness to it. Okay. Now, yeah. Okay. tuck your ends in so they're not scraping you up. Okay. There we go. There's one side. Let's get the bottom tucked in. I'll probably redo that bottom just so it will match. That'll drive me crazy if it's a hint of purple when there's no other purple on the whole thing. And I might change it too to one of these other ones. See, there's a lot of potential here for a good look. All right, let me move everything out of the way and see the complete vision. We'll see it all in action and see that it looks majestic. You know what I like to do? I like to do this, Rachel. This is what I like to do.
What is that?
It's this right here. Like a bulldozer.
Nice.
Coming in with a bulldozer. Wasn't that satisfying?
Yeah. The
Clear
quick cleanup, I like that.
Bulldozer.
That's my approach.
Mm-hmm. And then you can, there it is. Okay, move it out of the way to the side. And there you go in about 1 hour. What do you think?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God, it just has like the magic of the waters and the sand, the sea. Oh, I love it.
Thank you.
It has that eclectic, warm, like curated feel to it. This is fabulous.
Thank you. We'll get in there a little tighter and see what's what. So,
and your seahorse is amazing. Just all the detail, yes, makes me so happy. And then completed with our sea star toggle at the other end.
Mm-hmm.
That is wonderful.
I think it looks good. I'm happy with
great.
it.
I love it.
Really pretty.
Yeah, you have that kind of focal of beads, and then you get kind of that more of a pattern in the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and these are some beautiful beads. When you have really pretty beads to work with, it makes the job of stringing that much more delightful. It's kind of
we appreciate it.
A very relaxing way to make jewelry.
Yeah, that is what's fun about the box, is that we really, we spend a lot of time curating it, trying to get the colors to blend well. So we try to take some of the design work out of the way for you, so you have a few less decisions that you'll have to make, and then you still have plenty to choose from for whatever you decide to make.
Well, so I feel like collections like this, whenever you have a collection that's outside your comfort zone, say you tend to do labradorite. I'm using myself as the person here because I'm always tucking that labradorite in. I want to use that gray with things. Something like this is good because then it might not be the palette that I normally go with, and it might, I might not choose this shape normally because I tend to, it's like everybody. We have our preferences. And sometimes when you work with something new, like I haven't worked with these in a really, if ever, I don't know that I've ever worked with them, but now I'm going to hunt for them because they just look so beautiful and they have that architectural feel. And I feel like they work really well with the rounds. You'd think, oh, I don't know if that's going to work. But here I feel like, it might not be perfect. Like there might be some parts that people would say, oh, well, we might want to bring more of this in here. But guess what? Look at all this. This is all left. Guess what?
You can make a version 2.
20 more. I mean, how many more necklaces could I get out of that?
Oh my gosh, a lot.
I mean, conservatively, probably 2 more at the minimum. Wouldn't you say 2?
More at least, yeah.
If that's the minimal, if that's saying. So you would get 3, and you could make them pretty different, as far as the way you designed them.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know. I feel it makes a good gift for people if they're just getting into beading, so you could add to your hoard, or if you're going on a trip. So I get gifted these occasionally from my friends in different, from different bead shops, like beadshop.com will send me one. I take them with me on trips. I'll take 3 or 4 of them, and I don't have to pack anything. This gives me all the variety I need. So you just need to bring your focals if it didn't come with any, which is weird because it would. So So you just need to bring tools and wire, and then you're set to go.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for doing this, Cynthia.
Thank
This
you
is
for inviting me. I
awesome.
had such a good time, Rachel.
Well, we always love when you join us on the channel and give us your design inspiration. We really appreciate it. I'll just give a few quick shout outs, and if you have some shout outs as well. So if folks like the July bead box, we do have extras. So you can purchase an entire July bead box, still at a pretty good deal. Or if you want to get subscribed, you can get subscribed and you can get the August bead box as your first bead box. If it is your first time getting a Sam's bead box, I recommend using the code VIP5 at checkout on samsbeadbox.com, and that way you get $5 off your first subscription box. So definitely check that out. Details in the comments and in the description. And you also go live every week. Would you tell folks about that, where they can find that?
Oh, thanks, Rachel. I go live on Facebook and YouTube from our Green Girl Studios page, and also on YouTube. We go on at 7 Eastern Time on Wednesdays and Sundays. So that's pretty good. And I usually I don't just do jewelry. I show a lot of, like last week I did wax carving, and before that I showed how to apply a patina on this with the Ultimate Paint. So there's a lot of variety. You can learn a thing or two from, what we're working on. It's fun.
That's wonderful.
Sometimes we will have different jewels, and that sometimes a live sale. It's all different.
Yeah. Well, definitely follow Green Girl Studios, their Facebook group, Facebook page, YouTube channel, so you can stay in the know and get lots more inspiration. So thank you all so much for joining us. We hope you have a lovely weekend, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, friends.